When we think of the aircraft of the Vietnam War, most of us think of the F-4 Phantom. But there was another fighter flying along the Phantom in that war. A fighter which did not have to rely on missiles alone to shoot down MiGs. This is, in a nutshell, the story of the Vought F-8 Crusader. In 1952, the United States Navy released a requirement calling for a new fighter, capable of Mach 1.2 with a max landing speed of 100 miles per hour. Vought responded with a new design, internally designated as the V-383. By May 1953, Vaught's submission was declared to be the winner of the competition. The first prototypes were delivered in 1956 to Squadron VX-3, an air test and evaluation squadron which put the prototypes through their paces. Finally, in 1957, the first F-8 Crusaders entered service with Fleet Squadron VF-32. The F-8 Crusader had a high-mounted wing which required a fuselage-mounted landing gear. What set the F-8 Crusader apart from other planes was its variable incidence wing, which pivoted by 7 degrees out of the fuselage during takeoff and landing. This increased the lift without compromising forward visibility for the pilot. Nevertheless, the F-8 was often an unforgiving plane during carrier landings, earning it the nickname Ensign Eliminator. If you like these kind of videos, you could help the channel by subscribing and hitting the like button. If you have suggestions for other aircraft or subjects, please note them in the comments. Experiences during the Korean War had learned that the .50 caliber machine gun was no longer sufficient, so the F-8 Crusader was instead equipped with 4 20mm cannons. These were supplemented with a retractable tray with 32 unguided rockets. There were also fuselage pylons for 4 AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, 2 missiles on each side. The Crusader could carry both the heat-seeking Sidewinder and the radar-guided Sidewinder, although the latter was eventually withdrawn from active duty. Despite being the only carrier-based fighter still equipped with guns, only 4 gun kills were recorded during the war in Vietnam. The majority of the kills performed by Crusader pilots was done with the heat-seeking Sidewinder missiles. The primary reason for this was that the gun feeding mechanism was prone to jamming during the high-G dogfighting maneuvers. In total, F-8 Crusaders would claim 19 kills for only 3 losses in Vietnam. Although the F-8 Crusader earned the nickname Ensign Eliminator, there was one capability which proved the savior for several distracted pilots. On at least 7 occasions, pilots forgot to unfold the wings, taking off with less wing surface than normal. In each case, the pilots managed to land safely, albeit requiring them to reduce weight by jettisoning stores and dumping fuel before landing. Both the United States Navy and Marine Corps used the F-8 Crusader and its reconnaissance variant RF-8 Crusader. Foreign operators included the Philippine Air Force, which fielded 25 Crusaders. The French Navy did also require a fighter for its 2 carriers Clemenceau and Foch. Because the F-4 Phantom was too large for its carriers, the French opted for 42 F-8 Crusaders. A lesser-known operator was NASA, which used several modified F-8 Crusaders for research purposes. By 1976, the Navy had retired its F-8 Crusaders as squadrons switched to other aircraft like the F-4 Phantom. Only the photo reconnaissance RF-8s remained in active duty until 1987. The Philippine Air Force stopped fielding their Crusaders in 1988 due to lack of spares, while the French Navy held on the longest to their Crusaders until 1999, when they were replaced by the French-built Rafale. Perhaps lesser known than the F-4 Phantom, for a short period the F-8 Crusader could boast to be the last gunfighter aboard carriers, acting as a reminder that there can be a huge gap between military theory and military reality. Luckily for us, military doctrine was adapted in its lifetime, and fighters today still carry a gun as backup for close-quarter air combat. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like or subscribe, and suggestions are welcome in the comments.